If you believe you know the truth about Chrissy and Jim Jones, think again, because everything you believed is about to be completely upended. What if I told you that the biggest betrayal wasn't from Jim's enemies, but rather from the person he trusted the most, Chrissy? Not just a little secret either. It's the kind of bombshell that could destroy their entire world. Camron's family has just released one bombshell after another that reveals a truth so twisted that it's difficult to believe that Chrissy's life is about to be revealed in a way that no one anticipated. And Jim is left standing there, betrayed and caught off guard. What do you do when the person you love is concealing the darkest secrets you can? Never assume that this is simply gossip. It's going to be a full-on expose of everything you didn't know and couldn't have imagined. Stay tuned, because, believe me, if you think you've heard the worst, you're not even close to the truth. What if I told you that everything you believed you knew about Chrissy Lamine was false? What if the ideal relationship you've seen on TV for more than 10 years was actually a web of deceit? What if Jim Jones, the man who has trusted her for so long, is now the victim of a betrayal so profound that it could destroy everything he's built? Let's break it down. Camron, who has supported Jim Jones throughout his career and helped build his career, just dropped a bombshell that no one saw coming. Chrissy Lamine is at the center of a scandal so big that it could completely destroy Jim's career and expose the ugly truth no one knew existed. You've seen the glitzy photos, the public appearances, and the Colton couple goals moments, but behind the scenes, it's a different story. This isn't just reality TV drama anymore. Is real-life betrayal at its best. How did we get here? Camron, a man who's never been afraid to speak his mind, has just pulled back the curtain and revealed the truth about Chrissy's hidden life for years. It's like a cold slap in the face to Jim and to all of us who followed their story. We're talking about secrets so deep and dark that they could bring the entire house of cards crashing down. She has been posing as Jim's rock, but the truth is far from that. Camron's family has disclosed that Chrissy has engaged in dubious activities, covert affairs, and even business decisions that damaged Jim's trust. As they say, you can only conceal the truth for so long, and now it's coming to light in the most dramatic way possible. Chrissy's life isn't just a reality show. It's a web of lies so entangled that it's impossible to ignore. And Jim is the man left in the wreckage, blindsided by the betrayal of someone he thought he could trust above all else. What Chrissy is concealing isn't just infidelity or cheating. We're talking about much more: business corruption, shady deals, and behind-the-scenes manipulations that were carefully kept from Jim for years. Camron, being the guy he is, has just revealed everything. And now the world is watching as Jim's life is falling apart in real time. Let's talk about the first of many secrets, one that involves money, power, and betrayal. For years, Jim trusted Chrissy not only with his heart, but also with his business. They've collaborated on several projects, built an empire, and even engaged in joint ventures. Chrissy has been involved in a number of shady financial transactions that Jim was unaware of, which have resulted in losses and poor investments for which Jim is now held accountable. The worst part of these transactions is that they have threatened to destroy Jim's entire empire while he stood by her and trusted her implicitly. And let's not forget about the personal side of this mess. Chrissy's affairs and her secret life, which no one knew about for years, have involved hidden relationships, trips, and connections to people Jim wouldn't even imagine. People who the crazy part is that Camron knew it all. His family had been aware of it for some time, but they remained silent out of loyalty to Jim. However, now that the truth has come to light, they are speaking out. The man who helped build Jim's career has had enough, and the world now knows the truth about Chrissy's shady dealings and betrayal. But it's not just about money and affairs. It's about loyalty and trust, two things Jim believed he had with Chrissy. Now, he is left to pick up the pieces of a collapsing career alone and confront the fact that the reason Camron is doing this is because he believed that his knowledge of Chrissy was based on lies. Is it because of their personal history together, or is it because Camron has finally had enough of the games Chrissy has been playing that have hurt Jim more than anyone could have predicted? The problem is that Camron is tired of the lies and isn't going to let Chrissy get away with it any longer. He's taken to the streets and social media, and now he's spilling all the details. Chrissy's secrets are out, and there's no turning back. And Jim, well, he's been left holding the bag while Chrissy has been playing a risky game. However, how far did this betrayal go? Was it merely business? Or is there more to the story? Is Chrissy concealing even more sinister secrets that Jim was unaware of? Stay put, because we're only just beginning. The truth is going to wreck everything. It hurts, doesn't it, when everything you believe to be safe falls apart in front of your eyes? And that's exactly what's happening to Jim Jones right now. The betrayal by Chrissy Lampkin, the woman he trusted and believed to be his rock, is happening in the most embarrassing way possible in public. But that's only the beginning of the real mess, and fallout from these revelations is more than anyone could have ever imagined, and it's all because of one person, Chrissy. However, the twist is that Chrissy isn't just out for herself. Camron's family has been subtly revealing how deep this betrayal goes beyond financial losses and covert affairs. There's a network and an entire underground scheme that Chrissy was part of. And it's only now that the world is beginning to connect the dots. Let's break it down. Chrissy wasn't just pulling strings behind Jim's back. She was playing both sides of Camron, who has been Jim's closest ally for years. Trusted Chrissy for years, but Jim was unaware of it. And let's face it, everyone was. Engrossed in the fairy tale of him and Chrissy being the ultimate power couple. Now, however, things are falling apart piece by piece, and this is where things get messy. Chrissy's lies were more than just personal, the financial schemes. She was involved in our coming to light, and they're bigger than anyone could have imagined. Camron's family has revealed shocking information about shady business dealings that not only hurt Jim, but also betrayed his trust on a level that is nearly impossible to understand, preventing Jim from being informed about financial decisions that should have been discussed, and now Jim is suffering as a result of her covert manipulations. For those who are unaware, Chrissy was the driving force behind a number of dubious investments that Jim was unaware were being made in his name, including shady real estate transactions and companies that embezzled money. Jim was left holding the bag when the bills arrived, according to sources close to the matter. However, worse, Chrissy is supposed to be Jim's faithful partner, right? She's been playing both sides, making deals behind Jim's back with some of his. As the story goes viral, fans and other celebrities are weighing in, and the reactions are all over the place. Some are calling Chrissy a mastermind, while others are outright labeling her a villain. The most shocking part is that Jim's own circle is beginning to distance themselves from him. Unsure of where his loyalties lie after this bombshell, Chrissy has been involved in backdoor dealings with people who have always had it out for Jim. Her actions have been putting Jim's empire at risk. This isn't just business, this is personal. Here's where it really starts to hurt. Camron, one of Jim's closest friends, says he feels personally responsible for not seeing this coming sooner. According to insiders, Camron had been warning Jim for years that something was wrong with Chrissy. But Jim was too blinded by his own pride to see the consequences. Jim has been hit with not just a personal betrayal, now he's dealing with the public consequences once the news started leaking. Once the truth gets out, there's no turning back. And Jim is forced to face his own public downfall. Jim is facing the very real possibility of facing lawsuits or even government investigations into the shady deals Chrissy was involved in. If it is proven that she manipulated him using his name and assets to make fraudulent investments, Jim could be held accountable for some of those debts and feelings. He never imagined the woman he had been with for so long could be involved in such a scheme. But now Camron can't hold back any longer. It's one thing to have your friend in a bad situation, but when that condition threatens everything you've worked for, you have no choice but to speak out. given the current state of affairs. Jim faces the very real possibility of going bankrupt, but the public backlash is equally harsh. Fans who once looked up to Jim and Chrissy are now doubting their loyalty, wondering how they could have been so naive as to think this was a genuine love story when it was actually just a game for Chrissy. The backlash has been swift, and Jim's fan base is beginning to turn against him. His reputation has been damaged, and now the world is asking the difficult questions: who was Jim really working with all these years? Camron's family has gone so far as to release recordings detailing some of, not to mention the social media firestorm that is currently raging. Everyone from hip-hop stars to social media influencers is weighing in and sharing their thoughts on the situation. The most shocking revelations regarding Chrissy's double life are found in these leaked tapes, which are beyond anything anyone could have imagined. Chrissy spoke about manipulating Jim's image and trying to destroy his career by associating him with shady figures who were out to destroy him in the first place. There's a darker side to all of this, though, as people are now wondering how much of Jim's career was built on lies. Did Chrissy's influence really play a role in shaping Jim's success, or was she holding him back the entire time? The speculation is endless, and with every new leak, the truth gets more complicated. Legal action, financial chaos, and public outrage are just the beginning of this mess. One tweet reads, "Jim, you've been played, and we all saw it coming." Another tweet reads, "Chrissy has been nothing but manipulative. Jim deserves better," revealing the extent of Chrissy Lynn's betrayal. But one thing is for sure: Jim Jones is at a crossroads and is facing not only a betrayal of his heart, but the total collapse of his empire. As the story progresses, Jim Jones must face the harsh reality of losing not only his personal relationship, but also his empire, his reputation, and possibly even his freedom. The full extent of Chrissy's manipulations is becoming clear. And what once seemed like a fairy tale romance has now turned into a nightmare that no one could have predicted, and the media is reporting on it like wildfire. As the investigation continues, Camron's family has taken it upon themselves to reveal more and more of Chrissy's dark secrets. And the results are absolutely mind-blowing. Leaked documents and confidential recordings have surfaced, demonstrating that Chrissy's involvement in Jim's financial mess wasn't an accident. Rather, it was a well-thought-out plot that was designed. The circus surrounding Jim and Chrissy is getting more intense every day, and the world is watching. It's not just about Jim's career anymore. It's about the breakdown of friendships, the breakdown of trust, and the possible destruction of everything Jim has worked so hard to build. To destroy Jim's career and seize his fortune, but why? Let's break it down based on people with knowledge of the situation. Chrissy wasn't just in it for the money. She was playing a long game. She knew that Jim's status was rising, and she wanted to ensure that she had a firm grip on his future. She planned a number of business endeavors and investments, all of which were intended to siphon off a portion of Jim's wealth while keeping him in the dark. In the end, she wanted to be in charge, not Jim. However, as more of Chrissy's shady dealings come to light, it turns out that she wasn't just plotting against Jim. A confession from an anonymous source that claims Chrissy had been in constant contact with Jim's rivals using Jim's name to make backroom deals that ultimately hurt him is one of the most shocking leaks to hit the public recently. It goes far beyond a personal betrayal. It appears to be a coordinated effort to ruin Jim Jones once and for all. As the legal pressure mounts on Jim, the public waits for the fallout. And legal teams on both sides are getting ready for an inevitable court battle. It appears that this could be the battle of if Chrissy is found guilty of financial manipulation. Jim could face severe fines and possibly even criminal charges. This is not just a career killer. It's the kind of scandal that can ruin lives. And let's not forget about the media storm, with headlines everywhere and people watching every turn as Jim Jones, Sir Chrissy Lumpkin, and Camron expose Chrissy. are trending globally, with both supporters and detractors taking sides. Some are calling for justice, while others are tearing into him. Wondering how someone as strong and influential as the key to understanding Chrissy's actions is in the details, and it's becoming clearer than ever that her motivations were far more complex than anyone realized. Several sources have come forward revealing that Chrissy was involved in financial schemes and was linked to several shady figures from the underworld. The worst part is that Jim had no idea who he was truly aligned with. Instead, Chrissy was carefully curating his image while clandestinely making deals with people who were using him as a pawn in a much larger scheme. The biggest tragedy in all of this is that Jim Jones trusted Chrissy with his heart, his business, and his future, and she betrayed him at the worst possible time. As the pressure mounts, Jim's mental state has taken a toll, and he has been holed up for days, meeting with his legal team and trying to piece together what's left of his career. Jim's once stable empire is now on the verge of disaster, and industry insiders are warning that the damage may be irreversible due to financial mismanagement and potential legal repercussions. Jim Jones has always been a fighter, but even the strongest fighters have moments when they question whether they can win the battle. As for Chrissy, she has been keeping quiet, according to sources. But it will only be a matter of time until the truth about her actions is revealed. Her reputation is in ruins, and no matter how hard she tries to spin the story, the public knows what's been done. The truth is getting harder to hide, but does she care? Is she even concerned about the damage she has caused? Only time will tell. As the legal battle continues, we can anticipate even more shocking revelations to surface. The story isn't over yet, but one thing is for sure. This saga has been one for the history books. Will Jim rise from the ashes, or will Chrissy's web of lies and manipulations destroy him once and for all? Wow, what a roller coaster this has been. He has been instrumental in exposing Chrissy's wrongdoings and is now demanding a full investigation into everything Chrissy has been involved in. They are demanding that Jim receives his just compensation. The plot twists and turns in this story are insane. But the real question is, will Jim Jones be able to put his life and career back together? Or will Chrissy Lannon's web of lies and betrayal bring him down for good? The truth is out there, but the road ahead is anything but certain. But we want to know what you think. Does Jim have what it takes to rise above the chaos? Or is this the end of his reign? Is Chrissy really guilty? Or is she being set up for a larger plot? Please leave your thoughts below and let's begin the discussion. Who's your side in this story, Jim's or Chrissy's? We've only touched the surface of this incredible scandal, and you don't want to miss a second. If you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss the latest updates. We have even more shocking revelations coming your way, and I promise you'll want to be the first to know. Watch this video if you want more behind-the-scenes drama, and share it with your friends so everyone can join the conversation. What's next for Jim, Chrissy, and the whole family? We'll be watching every turn and analyzing every detail, delivering you the truth, no matter how startling it may be. Please stay tuned, subscribe, and make sure you're a part of this incredible trip. You won't regret it. This is only the beginning, so let's keep the approaching truth.